Breaking up is hard to do, but if you want to get a mortgage after you break up with someone, make sure you break up all the way. So I don't know what's in the air. A couple years of COVID, I guess, puts a lot of strain on relationships, and I'm not making light of it, but lots of phone calls lately from folks who want to start over, want to buy a home, and they are in the middle of a breakup. Often they tell me the breakup's amicable and they just want to wash their hands of everything and get a mortgage and buy a house. And I wish it was that simple. And even if everyone can be super adult and super pleasant, you can't just go get a mortgage when you are in the middle of a breakup, married or common law, especially if kids are involved. It just isn't that easy. So instead of getting ahead of your skis, I wanted to offer up some advice if you are one of these people who is very anxious to buy a home right after you break up with someone, because the lenders don't really love this situation, and so there are things that must, and I mean must, be in place before any lender, even the lender that you've banked at for 20 years, there are things that must be in place before they will fund on a mortgage. So better to tell you now, right? First of all, if there is a pending divorce, so you're married, you are separating, you can't just get a divorce. In Canada, you have to be separated for a certain amount of time. You have to have a legal separation or divorce agreement if the amount of time has passed in order to get a legal divorce. So you have to have that in writing in an agreement done up by a lawyer. You have to. And here's why the lenders are concerned when they hear that you're in the middle of a separation waiting to get a divorce, is because if there's an ex out there in the wilderness, you have shared assets and liabilities, right? And you might have your names on different things together. So this is not even to speak of yet if you have children together. So even if you're not legally married, but you're common law and you have children together, there are things that must be agreed to, not with a handshake, but with a legally binding agreement regarding child support, the terms of the separation, who gets what, etc., etc. The other thing is, quite often, common law or married, you have a house together. You have a property. Maybe you have more than one property. Maybe you also have a rental property. That has to be addressed, whether it's a spousal buyout or you're selling the house first, or maybe you're married but you're just the dower spouse. As far as the lender is concerned, you are still responsible for that mortgage. You're still responsible for that mortgage, even if you got out of Dodge and you're living in your parents' basement. You are still responsible for that mortgage with your spouse that you bought, the house that you bought together. So what I'm seeing happen is a lot of folks with really good intentions that are really eager to start their life over, which is totally legitimate. They are out house shopping and they need a mortgage really quickly, but they still have all of these legalities to deal with first before we can even talk about getting a mortgage. Like these are non-negotiables. You have to have these legal agreements in place before a lender will qualify you and even review your income and down payment and all those other good things. So everyone, I know it's hard, but you got to slow down when you're in the middle of these breakups and really plan ahead, because famous last words, oh, it's amicable. He or she's going to give me this much money as the buyout. We're going to split this and split that, split the sheets 50-50, and he gets the kids on this day and I get the kids that day, and so-and-so's going to pay child support. Okay, it has to be a legal document in writing with a lawyer. It has to be. Handshakes don't count in mortgages and lending. or in real estate. So that is my advice if you're going through a breakup, is unfortunately you got to lawyer up. You got to get all of these things hammered out so that you have these legally binding documents, and then we can pre-qualify you for a mortgage and get you on your way. It's a little messy, it's going to be hard, it's a difficult time for everyone, but you can't buy another home without doing these things first. So if you have any questions about that process, just shoot me a text or give me a call, 403-3827-335, or look me up at karriflatla.com. Remember to like this post, follow my page here on Facebook and my channel on YouTube, and we'll see you for next Friday Fire. Take care.